Mountie Nation. Welcome to Wednesday, January 18th. I hope you enjoyed your ice day yesterday. We are in Advisory 18, and I wanted to remind you and let you know of the expectations we set forth last week. We actually had 3 of them, if you can remember. The first one was our tardies and limiting those and getting to class on time. The second one we had was cleaning up our bathroom floor and getting all of that paper towel into the wastebasket. And the third one is not taking our gloves and our hats and our backpacks to class with us. I could tell you that we've made progress. We have seen progress in all 3 of those areas. I know we threw some tardy lockouts at you, and we saw some numbers like I think we had 6 kids and 5 kids at one point that were in the tardy lockout. Those tardies have improved. We're not there yet. We could be better, but they have improved drastically. Taking our stuff to our 6-hour class, especially 6-hour, way down. Excellent job listening and then responding. We still can do better. Always we can do better. And then the last one was that bathroom, keeping that bathroom clean. Once again, we've made improvements, but we can do better. You know what bathroom we see it a lot at is that bathroom right by the cafeteria because you all use it during lunchtime. We've got to do a better job of that. We could do it. I'm going to challenge you to one more area. Let's stay on the right side of the hallway. Our hallways are busy. We added 5 more students last week. We are busy. Stay on that right side to help us out. I hope you had a great day today with your day off, and I love having you back here at school on Wednesday. Great to see you. We've had a big week this week as we elect a new president into power in the United States. I just want to give you a quick look at the inside scoop of how they're prepping in D.C. for that inauguration.
Friday's inauguration have been underway for months. Members of the Army band stood in for the president-elect and the future First Lady yesterday at a mock swearing-in ceremony. Military members marched in front of the Capitol and down Independence Avenue to work out final details before the big event. Jeff Pegues is on the National Mall where security trailers and barricades are being set up for the 58th presidential inauguration. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning. Washington is going to look like a fortress this week. Look at all this fencing they've already set up, and there is more to come. Policing inaugurations is a difficult task every time it happens, but this year is going to be especially different because of the complex web of potential threats out there. Add to that the fact that a number of protest groups have applied for permits, 25, which according to the National Park Service is 5 times what they typically see. Pennsylvania Avenue is being transformed for the inauguration, as is security around the nation's capital. The Department of Homeland Security is expecting close to 1 million people in the streets of Washington. So, can you see all of Washington from this room?
We can see a lot of Washington from this room.
Executive Assistant Director of the FBI, Paula Bate, will be watching from this inauguration command center with representatives from several different agencies. There are dozens of television screens with different angles of the city, street and aerial views, as well as traffic flow. They want everything covered.
We're facing a more complex threat environment.
In what way?
Just in terms of the types of attacks that have occurred, things we've seen happen here in the United States and around the world.
The attacks in Paris, Belgium, and San Bernardino haunt law enforcement officials planning for this type of large event. The incidents show that terrorist organizations are capable of large-scale coordinated attacks or smaller lone wolf incidents that have been inspired by ISIS or Al-Qaeda. Bate says security planners for the inauguration can't rule anything out.
We work hard every day, 24/7, not just during inauguration, but on every day, even today, to stop things like that from happening.
You can have unpredictable crowds.
Former Homeland Security Secretary Michael Chertoff, who led security efforts for inauguration ceremonies in 2009 when President Obama was sworn into office, says terrorism isn't the only concern.
Protesters always create a challenge, particularly because they can be a distraction.
Over 350,000 demonstrators are expected in the streets. Helping to keep the peace will be nearly 30,000 law enforcement officials deployed throughout the city by Friday, including 3,200 police officers from departments across the country and about 8,000 members of the National Guard. Cyber attacks are another concern for security officials. The Secret Service will be tracking potential threats online that could disrupt the inauguration, but officials say there are no specific or credible threats to the event. Charlie.
Jeff, thank you so much.
mom's cell
It's
phone.
awesome how you can watch videos on
Texting
YouTube.
and sharing photos.
Playing games on iPad.
It all started with one question: what new phone to get my daughter? I knew what Tessa wanted, a smartphone. I learned that you spend on average 6.5 hours a day looking at screens. As a doctor, I decided I needed to understand the impact of all this screen time on kids. And as a mom, I needed to know what to do.
A young adolescent brain can oscillate back and forth very, very quickly, but it comes at a cost.
I'm so distracted by my phone, so it's hard to listen to a teacher and actually understand what they're saying.
What's extraordinary about the studies on multitasking is even though you're doing worse and worse on everything you're doing, you feel as though you're doing better and better.
Who's there to catch you at home? Your mom? You can outsmart her easily. No offense. Yeah, Mom, it's really hard math thing.
The game industry has designed these games to become universes where these kids enter and they don't want to come out to do math. Who wants to do math?
When I tried to stop him from playing the games, he turns into another person.
I gamed until like 1 in the morning, and then I gamed 3 in the morning, and then I gamed until 5 in the morning.
Most of the time, he'd be on the computer. It felt like he was in a different world.
I didn't realize how much my sister cared about me.
The thing that matters is not whether you're a good person, it's how you look.
I took a picture of myself and my brother, and I sent it to him. When I got to school, I knew that everyone else knew.
This is one of the most difficult parenting issues we've ever faced. Internet consumption, video game use is very complicated to parent around.
The mistake that parents often make is that they assert their authority without explaining it in a way that makes sense to their child.
When parents tell me not to do something, I'm like, what would happen if I did it? When my parents actually have that deep conversation, it works a lot better.
It's evolution, it's the future, it's too late, I'm addicted. No, it's not too late. The research that shows human resiliency gives me hope.
My friends and I go out to eat. We'll all agree to put our phones in the middle of the table. Whoever checks their phone first has to pay for the meal.
When I study, I turn off the data on my phone, and that way I can't go on the internet and I can't get text messages.
We have to think about everywhere that kids are in the real world and how we can help educate them in those spaces. We can't just say it's on the schools, it's on the parents. We have to do this as a community.
Of the 7 billion people on Earth, roughly 6 billion own a cell phone, which is pretty shocking given that only 4.5 billion have access to a working toilet. So how are these popular gadgets changing your body and brain? If you're looking down at your phone right now, your spine angle is equivalent to that of an 8-year-old child sitting on your neck, which is fairly significant considering people spend an average of 4.7 hours a day looking at their phone. This, combined with the length of time spent in front of computers, has led to an increase in the prevalence of myopia or nearsightedness in North America. In the 1970s, about 1/4 of the population had myopia, where today nearly half do, and in some parts of Asia, 80 to 90% of the population is now nearsighted. And it can be hard to put your phone down. Take for example the game Candy Crush. As you play the game, you achieve small goals, causing your brain to be rewarded with little bursts of dopamine, and eventually you're rewarded in the game with new content. This novelty also gives little bursts of dopamine and together create what is known as a compulsion loop, which just happens to be the same loop responsible for the behaviors associated with nicotine or cocaine. Our brains are hardwired to make us novelty seeking, and this is why apps on our phones are designed to constantly provide us with new content, making them hard to put down. As a result, 93% of young people aged 18 to 29 report using their smartphone as a tool to avoid boredom, as opposed to other activities like reading a book or engaging with people around them. This has created a new term, nomophobia, the fear or anxiety of being without your phone. We also see a change in brain patterns. Alpha rhythms are commonly associated with wakeful relaxation, like when your mind wanders off, whereas gamma waves are associated with conscious attentiveness. And experiments have shown that when a cell phone is transmitting, say during a phone call, the power of these alpha waves is significantly boosted, meaning phone transmissions can literally change the way your brain functions. Your smartphone can also disrupt your sleep. The screen emits a blue light which has been shown to alter our circadian rhythms, diminishing the time spent in deep sleep, which is linked to the development of diabetes, cancer, and obesity. Studies have shown that people who read on their smartphone at night have a harder time falling asleep and produce less melatonin, a hormone responsible for the regulation of sleep-wake cycles. Harvard Medical School advises the last 2 to 3 hours before bed be technology-free, so pick up a book before bed instead. Of course, smartphones also completely change our ability to access information, most notably in poor and minority populations. 7% of Americans are entirely dependent on smartphones for their access to the internet. A 2014 study found that the majority of smartphone owners use their phone for online banking, to look up medical information, and searching for jobs. So while phones are in no way exclusively bad and have been part of a positive change in the world, there's no denying that they are changing us. But many successful people have now decided to take smartphone vacations in order to increase productivity.
Guys, it's Lucy Fink. This week is 5 days of no social media.
What happens on social media stays on Google forever.
My co-producer assigned me to do 5 days on a social media cleanse, and because this is my job, I have no choice. Every single time I make one of these videos, you get my little name popping up right here. That's my Instagram handle and my Twitter handle. This is how I communicate with you guys. There is definitely a bit of a generational discrepancy when it comes to the way that society tells us that social media contributes to our lives. Personally, I'm at a crossroads when it comes to social media because I use it for two very different things. One thing, and something you guys might not know about me, I'm a stop motion artist, and I've turned my Instagram feed into a productive, creative platform. Social media can be, for me, an endless, soul-sucking void of emojis and red hearts, hashtagging, tweeting, Instagramming, liking, commenting. This week, I want to gain a better understanding of that crossroads for myself. Am I actually addicted, or am I being creative and adding art into the world and inspiring other people? Starting right now, Monday morning, time to log out of my apps.
Being famous on Instagram is pretty much the same thing as being rich in Monopoly. It's not real, so everybody can just calm down.
A couple of times already, my fingers have automatically navigated to the spot on my phone where these social media apps used to live. I'm learning that I reach for social media when I'm in moments of transition from place to place when I don't have much else to do. Not having access to these apps has caused me to be a little bit more aware of my surroundings, to see if I'm really addicted, or to see if I'm just a media-loving millennial who has embraced the digital revolution. I'm bringing you guys into my place of work, Refinery 29. I think it's really interesting in a week without social media to be in a place like this. When other fields might get in trouble for Snapchatting at work, we at Refinery actually have a team of people whose sole job here is to create content exclusively for Snapchat. Anyone on the social media team will tell you that it's real hard work, and they work extremely hard to cultivate this ongoing relationship that Refinery 29 has with our audience.
Hashtag man bun.
Today, I took a coffee break with my friend Lauren Magenta. She is a food photographer, yet another person who uses her social media feeds for business. We had our lattes and our donuts, perfect for that perfect Instagram post. And I do have to admit, I felt an ounce of FOMO back when I went a week without my phone. I spoke to a psychologist. She told me that getting social media likes and comments acts as a type of reward for us because of the chemical that it releases in our brains. I mean, when I go to a cafe, do I even order what I'm ordering because I want it? Or do I order it because I think it will look good in a photo? In the absence of photographing the donuts to post them on social media, I just got to eat the donuts. I had a good midday snack.
So on Instagram, once you hit 11 likes, all of the names disappear and it starts counting up. So 11 likes, or you should probably delete it.
This week, I've been thinking a lot about my Facebook wall, my Instagram feed, my Pinterest boards. Honestly, no matter how hard I try to convince myself that everything that I put up there is only for me, I think that there's no denying that a bit of what we post, if not most of it, is intended for other people. Today, I decided no more of that. I'm making myself a wall. similar to my Facebook wall, but instead it's literally going up on the wall of my bedroom. People I love, things that I love, without likes, comments, without affirmation from others. This is what makes me smile. It's for me and only me, and that makes me happy.
I don't care about how many followers I have. It really doesn't matter. Oh wait, this? It's vintage.
Am I addicted to social media? I don't think so. It was not nearly as hard as I thought it would be. Here's what I'm hoping you guys take away from this week. I think social media is a huge community of movers, shakers, makers, and whether you have 5 followers or 5 million followers, these small, niche, creative communities can provide you with the opportunity to connect with people that you never would have met otherwise. For a creative brain, I think that this is a very important platform. I believe that if you put into this community, what you get out of it can also be very positive. I'm not leaving this week saying I'm going to cut myself off from all forms of social media. Rather, what I've taken away from this week was to remember to inspire myself. And for me, it was that literal social feed hanging on my wall. What is that for you? Are you a writer? If so, maybe keep a journal next to your bed. Are you a musician? Sing yourself a song every night. Try giving up social media for a week. Let me know how it feels. Send me a tweet, send me an Instagram direct message. See you on social media.
Are you tired of living alone?
Okay, Mountie Nation, it's your turn now. The challenge to do something with this social media is upon you right now. You just saw what the 5 days look like. And it's a challenge, it's a discipline. And all disciplines are hard. I want to remind you, day 1, you're going to log out of 2 social media apps. That's going to be from the first day until we're done. So think of 2 that you need to take a break from, make it happen. On your day 2, what you're going to do on day 2, you're not going to post on social media, okay? So starting that Thursday through the end, you're done. Day 3, when you get home for the weekend on Friday, from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we want you to shut your phone off starting at 11 o'clock p.m. Get a full night's rest, enjoy some downtime away from what other people are thinking. So on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, shut your phone off at 11. You can turn it on in the morning. Starting on Monday, you're going to turn your phone off when you get home for the day. So when you go to work, you come home, that's the time that you shut it off. No picking it up and putting down. The discipline for that day is you're going to take it, turn it off when you get home, be done for the day. On your last day, it's going to be the Tuesday before we have advisory again. It's an inspiration day. And that's the day we want you to put something back into your life. Now that you've taken some things away, some things start happening again, we're going to have you take something and bring it back in. You saw in the video, it might be a posting some pictures, a memory board on the wall. For some of you, you might be writers, maybe writing a letter of thank you to some people for what they've done in your life, or journaling, or taking a walk, or playing an instrument, those kinds of things. So Inspiration Day will be our last day. This is going to be great. Let's do it together. Teachers, you're invited as well. It's for all of Mountie Nation. Let's get after this.